the you that thinks it's listening to this, what are you waiting for? Life doesn't wait. No matter how much you scream and cry, play victim, want something else, reality doesn't wait. It's always moving. It's impermanent. It's not stopping. It's unfolding constantly. Matter of fact, it's unfolding so fast that it's not even unfolding. It's just appearing to. That identification with thought that's been with you since you were 2 years old is grabbing you out of immediacy constantly. It's not the thoughts. You think it's the thoughts. What it is the identification or the urge prior to thought, but after sensation. There's a gap, and then there's an urge, and then attention goes to thought. Thought is innocent. What did thought ever do to you? No. It feels that way. But seriously, life doesn't wait. It doesn't stop. It doesn't care. And the little me thought is constantly trying to grab, constantly trying to control. The thought is moving. It cannot be touched, nailed down. It's like Muhammad Ali in his prime. You can try to grab it, swing at it. You can't hit it. It's bobbing and moving. And the whole time that that's happening, you're trying to do that, you're missing what's happening. You're missing your whole life that way. Now, if you take that to heart, that might create an urgency in you when you really sit with it. It might create a burning urgency. It might even create fear. It could create nihilistic view if you take it the wrong way, or if you believe thoughts about what I'm saying. But you don't have to do that. You're like, oh God, Tony, what do I do? Life is moving. What do I do? You don't do anything. You see what's holding you back from being that life. Is it a victim mindset that's holding you back? Is it a belief about a physical disability or a psychological disability, emotional disability? Is this something your father and mother did to you? Is it that you lack training in some area, or you didn't go to college, or you're depressed, or you're fat, or weak, or dumb? Whatever belief you have about yourself as a person. The harsh reality of it is life doesn't really care. The reason why life doesn't care is because it knows that that's not what you really are. It's an identity. The good news about this is that you are life. You are what's moving without stopping. You are what's unfolding. That belief identification with a separate little thought person takes you into time, keeps you in the thought loops. So you have to see, you have to stop and see, really do whatever it takes, which is why on the path, if you're not ready for this and you haven't suffered enough, the thought loops will grab you and keep you. But if you have, and if you want to be free more than you want to be right, or you want to be free more than you want to complain, or you want to be free more than you want to be a victim, or you want peace more than you want to let thoughts grab you again. When you suffered enough, that's earnestness, and it's burning. And then you can take that the wrong way and start seeking and like wondering, what do I do? You're right back in thoughts again. You can stop though. Notice the stillness and aliveness just right here that's always been here. Anchor yourself in that and start looking and start seeing what your processes are that got you to where you're at, what the conditions are that make up your current reality and current experience. And when you do that to a certain extent and you get clear enough, you can see that thoughts are not what you are. You can loosen or break that identification. And then it's all about the sensations. Sensations are like life's, I don't know, gasoline or something. Sensations are life appearing, moving. That's what you're dancing on. Life is dancing on sensations constantly, including sensations of thought. But the identification with that thought is the suffering. The thought itself is not a problem. And when thoughts equalize with the other sensations, then life is just dancing as it always has been. But that identification with the thought, or with the main I thought, primary I, whatever way you want to say it, that tries to grab every sensation and own it, loosens or weakens or relaxes. And when it does that, you fall back into the immediacy that you are. And you're right there then in the passenger seat with life. You can't drive, but you can become what's driving. You can't drive as the little self, I guess I'll say. But when you get closer to the immediacy after you pull back some of that attention, you start to really come alive in ways that's hard to explain, because like being as close as you can to the actual sensations, it like burns you up. It's like living and dying on the edge of aliveness, the edge of life all the time. That's immediacy. That is when, as Dogen says, what does it say? The myriad things come to the forefront, or whatever the quote is. I don't remember right now. But you have to want this more than you want what thoughts is telling you, what that identification with thoughts is telling you, what the content of those thoughts is telling you. You have to have had enough. And nobody can give that to you. It is really just the conditions of your life. And when you've had enough of that suffering, of believing, you will do whatever it takes. When you've had enough and you want to be free, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it hurts, even if you have to step into something you never thought you would or never could, you'll do it. And it's not easy. You'll ask for the help you need. You'll get the education you need for whatever. You'll, get the medication if you need a medication. You'll see a therapist if you need a therapist. You'll do the shadow work. You'll work on your thoughts and your beliefs about this reality. You'll do what is necessary. Because life does not wait, and it never will. I can't tell you how many times I begged and pleaded with life when I was younger in my 20s, like, why have you forsaken me? What did I do wrong? I really want to know what's going on here. So why don't you just give it to me? But you see how weak the a mindset that is, that I did not discover till later. It is a weird version of a victim mindset. Nobody in my regular life knew that I felt that way as like a victim mindset because I didn't allow it to be shown. But internally, battling with God. But if somehow a God had came down and gave me some stuff or some answers, that would have been hollow. And reality refuses to do that. It wants you to realize you had the power all along as reality. In order to do that, you have to stop identifying. And the way to do that is to see very clearly the conditions and the processes that got you into the place that you are now, and then do something about them. And the insight work with this stuff means, you know, inquiry, meditation, looking, writing, looking, clear seeing. And then that's insight, to see that a separate you never existed. Therapy, shadow work, all that stuff is separate from that. They do dovetail in a manner of speaking, and they are all life. But they're not the same thing, really. At least they kind of run along the same paths a lot of way, and then they split apart, and maybe they come back together in a way. It's very hard to explain in that, but one thing I do know, life does not wait for the little me. So do whatever you have to do